What really impressed me about the application pool this year was the tremendous diversity. Diversity both obviously across the countries that were eligible. We got a tremendous response internationally, but also across the different ways in which people were interpreting innovation in the context of new media and learning. We had games, we had wikis, we had various online communities, virtual worlds. So there's just a tremendous vitality and excitement across the different ways in which people were interpreting the call. There were a few things that excited me about some of the projects this year. One, I think, was a way of understanding sort of existing technology, but giving it new eyes, looking at it with new eyes, seeing the use of older technology as a mechanism for empowering people, especially people that typically have not had access to technology. Another exciting theme, I think, was consistent with the participatory nature of this year's competition, and that was the use of handheld devices to really provide kind of community activities around learning, to use observation, to use geolocated data in a way that was very truly participatory, and I think manifesting learning in quite a new way. Well, it's intuitive to think that young people are innovating in this space, and new media, social media in particular, is evolving so quickly that very often the most innovative behaviors, the most innovative approaches to new media are happening among younger people. So we thought including this category would be a way of tapping really the cutting edge of learning possibilities with respect to new media. I think what we learned from this year's competition is something that in part we knew already, which is learning is inherently global now. And what's interesting in looking at this year's projects is the balance between what is sort of parochial and enabled through new media and what is inherently global. And the barrier between those two things is lowering. I think what we're going to learn is that innovation means something slightly different in different contexts across the planet, and that's fascinating. We'll learn, I think, that based on the access to technology, that an innovative approach to learning that actually relies on technology will mean something different. We'll learn, I think, that the social approach to new media is slightly different as well. Most importantly, I think what we'll learn, and I think consistent with the overall purpose of the competition, is what in fact, how do you define learning? This is an ongoing, I think, experiment in learning. It's an ongoing exploration in the definition of learning. One of the reasons we have an open competition is to ask the broader community, what is learning? How do you use technology in support of learning? How do you use new media in support of learning? And each and every time, I think we're fascinated by the response.